Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the FearFans podcast. I'm your host, Don. With me is Nick. And yeah, like you guys, the audience has voted, and they wanted us for a while. For a while they've been wanting us to cover Cloverfield, and so a recent poll, like here Alex said incredible intro. Oh, thank you. I would hope it's incredible. I edited it myself. But yeah, so Cloverfield. Oh man, I remember seeing this in theaters back in 2008 when I was still in high school. People when everybody was talking about this movie when it came out.
Yeah, surprisingly, I didn't. What's up, Joe?
Hey Joe,
Surprisingly, I didn't see it when it first came out. I didn't see it
what?
till probably about a few years later.
Oh, I was about to say what? I
No,
was.
I,
I would.
I
I
have
would
seen it. I just haven't seen it. I didn't see it when it first came out. Um, Hang on one second, Don. Looks like we got an issue here on the Facebook page.
oh man.
Connection was disconnected. Weren't able. Okay, I'll contact Jeremy.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why the studio's doing that. But okay, well, let's
That's
just.
what it is.
Yeah, okay, we'll just do what we can from here then. Okay, so yeah, Cloverfield. This was clearly inspired by Godzilla, the Godzilla franchise, because a giant monster, a kaiju wreaking havoc through a major city.
Yep.
Oh yeah, and if I were to guess, I would say that.
What's
Oh
up,
here,
Heather?
hey Heather, I would say that this pretty much ended up being exactly like what happened in the original Godzilla movie Gojira, released in 1954, because it showed in the start of this movie that this footage was recovered from what they said that it used to be Central Park. So I think it's fair to say that by the end of this movie, like all of New York was just rubble, just like Japan was in the original Godzilla.
It was, as I would describe, almost like America's answer to Godzilla, their own version of it. And
Yep.
the director actually said that obviously, yes, he did get inspiration from Godzilla to make this film.
Matt
And he
Reeves.
said, huh?
Matt Reeves, that's the
Matt
director.
Reeves, yeah. He had talked about that. They went to Japan and they saw obviously all the Godzilla and Gamera paraphernalia all over the place. And they basically essentially said they wanted to create just something that was not only based off of Godzilla, but also more American based. They're like, yeah, we have King Kong, and that was made here in the States, but we just wanted something that was actually like far more insane than what King Kong was. And that's what eventually led them to create Cloverfield.
Oh yes, and the found footage aspect of it was a real nice change of pace. I love how atmospheric it was, how immersive. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah,
Immersive. It makes you feel like you're actually there, like
yeah,
experiencing all this chaos.
right.
Yeah, and also it's great to know that Matt Reeves is a fellow Godzilla fan.
Yeah, he is.
Oh yeah, I've been a fan since I was little. I still I still reflect on the days when I kept renting Godzilla movies from Blockbuster. Back when that was a thing.
Yeah, definitely.
90s nostalgia, man. Yeah, but I mean, that's the only way us Americans were able to see those Japanese Godzilla movies back in the day.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but yeah, this one, like the poster, I think is what was definitely one of the biggest advertising. Like what really made this movie get well advertised was the poster depicting the Statue of Liberty decapitated with claw marks on it. So immediately you knew this is not a terrorist attack. This is some kind of a monster. And oh, Jeremy's on.
Oh, yeah, Jeremy, he's coming in to solve the issue.
Okay.
Don't don't try to add him once again. He's just coming in to figure out what the issue is.
Okay.
That's why I said I notified him about that we got disconnected on the thing's Facebook
Oh,
page.
that's the Facebook one because I was about to say we put on a few of these. So, okay, well, anyway, okay, let's continue on. So, yeah, this one, like, yeah, like also like, the whole concept was came up with by J.J. Abrams, who would go on to play like a huge role in the film industry, just like Matt Reeves did, it would. Yeah, 'cause seriously, this was definitely a major starting point for them.
Yeah. That that's also what I find really fascinating is how it really started up in a way, kind of some of these cast and crews careers with that particular movie.
Oh yeah.
Um, real quick, Jeremy just messaged me. Gonna have to share from another page because once you're live, you can't add another like we could on StreamYard. So you can only so you're gonna have to, if you
Okay.
want to, you're gonna just have to share it from one of the other destinations.
Okay, for sure. Yeah, we could. You just here's an idea. Why don't you share it from my YouTube page?
That's what I pretty much already did. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Feel free. That's what. Yeah, glad we have all these backups.
all right, thanks, Jeremy. I appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, thanks, Jer. Yeah. So yeah, and Cloverfield always and like the monster in this has been nicknamed Clover by all the fans of this, and yeah, they had a pretty unique design to it. Like because that's the thing. You had to like see the movie for yourself to know what this thing looked like. I mean, like, they pretty much took the whole no, and like I don't want to say completely adapted from the way it was like 1998 Godzilla was advertised because yeah, like they always said, oh, his foot is the size of this bus, his head is the size of this billboard. No, it's like they like use the same kind of aspect in like how yeah, they don't reveal the monster until you have to actually see the movie.
Yeah, yeah. Oh wait, you know what? I'm sorry. Jeremy said no, not from YouTube. He had to share it from another Facebook page, so he took it from the Things
Oh,
of Illinois page.
I see.
I was about to share it, but I'm glad I held up before then. So yeah, that's what he just told me.
Oh yeah. Okay. So yeah, the monster in Cloverfield, they like just gradually reveal it throughout the film. Like at first, like it seems like all a bunch of young a young group is like throwing a go away party for the main character in this Rob, and because he's about to go off to Japan to start like a whole new career path, and I'm like. And then, like like, looking back to that, I'm just like, oh, so he actually didn't have to go to Japan to encounter giant monsters.
He brought him right here to home in the Big Apple.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's like, and then then there's chaos in the streets, and then right when they go outside, there's an explosion, and like the head of the Statue of Liberty comes flying right at them,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, wow. I'm like,
See,
I mean, I mean, to this day, I'm still wondering if they got the whole scale of that accurately because like I feel like the Statue of Liberty is a little bit bigger than the way they showed in the film.
the
Or
way how I
the
also
head. I
kind
mean,
of the way how I also kind of see this movie too, by the way, I mean, in addition to the found footage and giant monster movie, it's like there is obviously some realism in some way because you have obviously the giant monster movie like genre put in
yeah,
along with the life of in a way kind of like post 9/11, and you put them together and that creates quite a scary film at that point.
oh yeah. But I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I actually I love this movie. I was truly immersed when I saw it. Like actually, like it feels like you're actually seeing a citywide chaos firsthand. Like through But the thing, but I don't have motion sickness, so I wasn't bothered by the whole shaky cam. Like when you have the like. Because that's how found footage of movies are. Like it's like depicting like how someone's holding a camera, like going this throughout the whole thing. But
Right, right.
and of course, this wouldn't have been this. I'm now that I think of it, this would have been like harder to film back then than it is right now because like you could actually do very good quality with smartphones these days. Like 4K quality.
Yeah, and you also have to remember too, due to the fact this was only 2008, this was pretty
Hmm.
much right around the time when found footage movies really started, becoming popular, especially after the success of Paranormal Activity just
Oh yeah.
earlier that, just prior to the year before.
Yes.
That's what inspired. So a lot of what you see was still kind of relatively new at the time. Yes, you had Blair Witch Project, almost 10 years before that. But
Yep.
this was when it was really they were starting to get really creative with the found footage genre.
Oh yeah. But the one thing that I felt chilled by with this was like right after you see like the head of the Statue of Liberty, the Empire State Building collapses in the distance, sending all of that debris and smoke just spreading through the street, and they're like running from it and then taking cover inside of a convenience store. That was like very chill, very like chillingly similar to the footage you see from like 9/11 when like those towers go down and the smoke fills the street.
I've seen that footage. It's
Yeah, like
horrific footage.
that's actually disturbingly similar. So there was
It
some
is.
so like in that aspect there was some realism there.
That's what I meant. It's like you're combining basically the giant monster franchise with a real life, in this case, terrorist attack, but showing a very similar look. In this case, if it was a giant monster attack instead of a terrorist attack.
Right. Yeah. So that's like one of the scenes that really stuck with me. Like people that just like running in the streets while trying to get away from that debris that's filling the air.
Yeah, because that stuff's also deadly too. Not to
Oh
mention.
yeah, people have still been dying from that in 9/11. I mean, like breathing in that debris, that smoke, and it causing health problems. You know,
That
so
happened to me when we had, well, nah, I wasn't there
well,
for that,
wait,
but
what?
that happened to me when I had the when we had our fire at our house 25 years ago. I breathed a
Oh,
lot of that ash and smoke into my lungs.
oh,
Man, it was, I'm going to tell you right now, the taste, especially after vomiting, it is something that once you taste it, you never forget it. You never do.
oh man,
To me, I felt like I was. It was the taste of death, as I would
Jesus,
describe it. It
wow,
was. And constant sickness I had after, for whatever reason. I was the only one who got sick. My siblings and my parents were completely unaffected. And you have to remember, this is almost 25 years ago. I was only 8 or 9 years old at
oh,
that time. So my lungs were not even fully developed at
right,
that time. So it could have certainly had deadly consequences for me.
oh,
I'm
no
really
doubt.
surprised I survived that.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, we're all thankful you're still here, man.
Yeah. I've
Yeah,
had quite the close calls. I mean, I've said about other things too, but yeah, that's just another example of my close calls with death.
yeah. I've had my share of a few. Yeah, but yeah, like that's the one scene that was shockingly real to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's like then they're trying to look at the news and like us get it. Like there are some scenes where they come across news reports playing on TV showing glimpses of the monster of Clover before like slowly like revealing it as the movie goes on. And like here I wanted to show this just to remind people here what Clover looks like, the monster. Right here. Yeah, very unique design to it. It looks like amphibious.
In a way, it kind of does.
Yeah. This is like a concept art, I think.
What's interesting about this monster too, compared to, like, in this case, the Godzilla and Gamera franchise, I liked in this case how it was a monster this time that didn't rely on, like, special abilities like beam powers or anything like that. It just
Oh,
used its own physical strength, other than the little baby monsters that came off of it.
oh well, baby monsters. I believe that they actually consider they categorize those as parasites. You know, because
The
this.
parasites, some
But
people call them baby monsters. It doesn't really matter.
well, yeah, but but yeah, I agree. I agree. This monster like definitely was powerful on itself without these extraordinary abilities, like how Godzilla has the atomic breath. Yeah, which some people call Godzilla like say that it's breathing fire, but no, it's actually a beam of concentrated radiation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but yeah, like Clover, just his immense size and strength is enough to cause devastation.
not only that, it's even more hard to believe that, believe it or not, even this monster itself, the Clover, is, despite its massive size, it actually is still technically a baby itself.
Yes.
Meaning that if there are other Clovers out there, and the adult ones are probably far, far, far more bigger than that one, and
Oh yeah.
probably far more intelligent than the one we see in the movie.
Right. Matt Reeves has revealed that this creature is actually a baby, and like it actually revealed like near the end of the film that it actually emerged, like was awakened in the Atlantic Ocean, and in later films like the Cloverfield paradox, it's heavily implied that Clover is actually a creature from another dimension, like an alien.
There was some debate thinking that it was first like an extraterrestrial monster, because near the end of the film, like right before everything completely goes down, they show that flashback sequence and you see something out in the San Francisco Bay out in the distance. It looks like something is crashing towards the ocean, which was originally thought to have been the Clover crashing to Earth. But it was later found out that it was actually a falling satellite that fell.
Yes.
So the chances of it being more from another dimension than actually being from outer space, being extraterrestrial in nature, it makes a lot more sense of being from another galaxy.
Right. Yeah. That's what people have been speculating. But I will say this though. I actually love that. Like during this time, this movie was parodied in South Park in that two-part episode,
Oh
Pandemic.
my god, that's some of my favorite episodes.
I
The
always loved
giant
that.
hamsters.
Giant guinea pigs. Yeah.
Guinea pigs, excuse me, guinea pigs.
Right. Yeah, it's all right. But yeah, I love how like Randy just like got out himself a camera and just would not stop filming everything. And then finally, when something happens, he feels like he really does need to document everything more than just like HUD in this movie.
Yeah, it just turned out later on that none of the footage was actually filmed. I'm just gonna say this right now. When I saw those episodes, in the words of Randy, I was so startled.
I love how they just kept saying, "Oh my God, look, it's guinea bees. It's
Like,
it's
yeah,
yeah,
please!
it's oh my God, it's a guinea bear. It's a guinea saurus rex." And it showed like guinea pigs in like different
These
animal
costumes. And then the actual guy who led it was a giant hamster himself, who was a pirate.
guinea pirate.
Guinea
Wait. Here,
pirate.
I gotta like show people this just as a
What,
reminder.
what other ones did they have? There was guinea pigs, and there was guinea bees, guinea bear, guinea pirate. What
They,
else was there?
they kept saying things like, "Oh, there's like guinea spiders," but I didn't really show that.
I'm gonna have to.
Um,
I'm looking that up right now.
yeah, here I'm looking this up too. Hang on.
Trying to think, what other ones did they use?
Oh,
In
here. Like, here's what they had in the end: the Guineasaurus Rex. Here, let me show. Let me go and show that. Here, I'll get to your comments. That one kid, Alex. Yeah, I'll get to your comment in a second. Hang on. Yeah, I just wanted to show this bit from South Park.
and that came out around the same time.
It did. Yeah, they were quick to parody that. They didn't waste time.
They do that all the time. They do it right after a particular, not just movie. They do it
Like the
right
Guineasaurus
after a
Rex.
particular event.
Okay, let's see. What else was there? Oh, the guinea rabbits. Oh,
Kitty rabbits. That's what that was. That was one of the other ones.
I think it just shows a guy ripped in half right there. Okay, that's pretty graphic. I wasn't expecting to find that. Oh, they're the guinea bees.
Kitty bees. Oh, here we go. Here's what I was looking for. Giddy creatures. It's on the South Park Wiki page. And
Oh,
they have a screenshot of the guinea pigs. What do we got? So let's see here. What do we got here? We had give me a second here. I'm looking for it. Scrolling through if the page will let me, because for some reason. Oh, here we go. Giant. Come on. I hate when the Wikipedia pages always freeze up.
oh. I don't really
You
use.
ever go on the Wikipedia pages and they just
I don't use it much. I don't use Wikipedia much. I find it unreliable. You know, because
okay.
you do realize that literally anybody can change the information on there, right?
I still use it anyway.
Man.
Anyway, um, giant guinea pigs, guinea bees, guinea rabbits, guinea rats, but only guinea spiders mention only. Okay, guinea mice, guinea bears, guinea panthers mention
Guinea
only.
panthers.
Guinea
Oh
Saurus Rex, the guinea pirate,
yeah.
and guinea
Yeah.
prisoner. As the guinea prisoner was actually the guinea
Right.
pirate, this makes
Right.
them one and the same. And Craig Tucker was the only Craig Tucker was the only citizen from South Park that could destroy the guinea creatures that showed on a wall that the boys saw in Peru.
Right. Yeah. Man. Trey Parker and Max Stone, they do not hold back on their ridiculousness.
Oh, I mean, they parody everything.
They do. They always do.
I
Always.
mean, even if it's like after something like bad or something like that, that's what they always. Hey, you have to remember. This is how I always hear it. You know, like whether it's a movie, whether it's a real event, you know, whether it's something like not so good or whatever, they're just like, they're basically like, okay, we know like, for example, when they made the COVID special, they were like thinking to themselves, okay, we know we probably shouldn't do this, but we're gonna do it anyway. So
Right.
screw it.
Yeah. Who would win, Clover or Hulk's strongest version? Ooh. Oh man, that's a good question.
The
Uh,
Clover will probably get it because it's far bigger than the Hulk.
yeah, it is bigger than the Hulk, and it's able to take literally anything the mil. But then again, the Hulk could also take almost anything the military threw at him. So I mean, they tried literally everything with Clover. They tried shooting him. They tried airstrikes, carpet bombs, nothing.
Yeah.
And you don't even know if they killed him in the end. You know,
Hey, what's
you
up,
don't,
Thomas? Probably right now. I'm busy right now. I'll just saying hi. Well, thanks for coming in.
yeah. Oh, Waffle Boys. Okay. Oh, here's a new viewer. How's it going?
It's a new viewer, yeah.
Yep. Good to see you. Take care. Good to see you. Glad I don't know why I said take care just a second ago, but yeah, good to have you on here, Waffle Boys. But yeah, like, oh man, like, like I like South Park. People been. It's like, I mean, I can go on and on about how much I love South Park, but yeah, like doing in short, Trey and Matt, they don't waste time parodying things. They'll
Oh, I don't.
they
They
will
really
make fun
don't.
of just about anything that comes out.
That's always the best part. I always enjoy. Wait, hang on a second. Waffle Boy here just says Abomination probably has a better chance than Hulk.
Maybe. Oh,
Oh, look who just
Hello.
showed up. Hey,
hey,
what's up,
Nikki.
Nikki?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey,
Doing
how's it
good.
going?
Whew.
How you doing so far? I know you guys have been having some rough weather over there.
Oh, yeah. So we've been in code yellow for about 3 days.
Oh,
Um, and we've just had two cyclones come through. So,
Two tornadoes before it's done.
oh man.
but yeah, a
Yeah,
little bit chilly, but it's pretty good. We're alive, so
Okay,
well,
that's
I'm
good.
I'm glad to hear that they both missed your house. So
yeah,
that's what's most important. She sent me a video, in fact, earlier today of one of these tornadoes that I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I mean, it was like I'm always so accustomed to seeing them like videos of them here in the U.S., but not very much in Australia. So that was quite impressive to watch.
yeah, it was pretty insane. So, yeah, got a lot of cleaning up to do, but that's okay. We're alive, so that's it. I'll send you a video later. But yeah,
Yeah,
no, we.
yeah, definitely. Well, either way,
Um,
man, good to know that you're safe.
Thank you.
Yep.
I'm just going to pop off and then I'm going to try and join on the computer and see how we go because the internet's pretty bad. So,
All right,
Yeah, of course, that's fun.
see you soon.
for sure. Just do what works for you, Nikki.
No worries. See you soon, sweetie. Bye.
All right, all right. So, yeah, like, oh man, when this movie came out in the theaters, like, this became like a huge hit. I mean, let's see, let me try. I'm trying to remember. It had like a budget of about, I think, 25 million, and then, oh man, it like the gross on that was like about just over 170 million, I think. So it was a huge success, financially.
Yeah, yeah, definitely it was.
Oh yeah. Here.
I got this done. Don't worry about it. I got it.
I,
Don't pay any attention to it.
oh no, no, it's not that. I'm just looking at. I'm just trying to find something else. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, I was going to show you a picture, but I think I exited out by accident. But yeah, we'll get to that later. But yeah, like the characters in this, what caught my attention at the beginning of this film when they first started showing footage of Rob and Beth, back when they were like together at the start of the film, that they would, they wake up together, they were having their little date, and it said in the bottom corner the date and time, and the date was April 27th, and I'm like, oh my god, that's my birthday.
How ironic is that?
I know, crazy, isn't it?
Very crazy indeed.
Oh yeah, and of course, HUD had to keep taping over that. I mean, HUD was played by T.J. Miller, and he's the socially awkward best friend of Rob. And yeah, like HUD is the guy who carries the camera throughout the majority of the film.
He was the cameraman, practically, the camera operator.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much designed to capture all these memories.
Oh yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
Chris. I did. We are you are not saying you don't go. Don't push me, Chris. Don't push me. Don't push me.
Yeah, man. But yeah, so yeah, I wanted to discuss like some of the here, like some things that might actually surprise you about when they made Cloverfield. Like, so yeah, obviously, like they wanted to go for a completely different design for the monster, because they didn't want this to be, based on, or they didn't want the design to be based on King Kong, or they wanted the design to be based on Godzilla. They wanted to do like really start from scratch with this, and they wanted to depict, like you said before, Nick, they wanted to depict, yeah, Clover as like a baby creature that's just frightened. That's what this thing is supposed to be, just a scared a creature that's all alone and has no idea why everybody's trying to kill it.
It makes sense, but you also because like the reaction it's giving, it's in a way pretty much it's more afraid than actually like angry of what's going on. Although it should probably be noted, I think it probably did show more aggressiveness later on in the film once it kind of understood its situation that it was in. Only then I think is when it actually became a lot more of an aggressive creature than what it was earlier in the film. In the beginning, it was kind of more just confused and scared out of its wits.
Right, and I think it I mean, because you know how when babies are crawling around, their limbs are starting to develop. Sometimes they drop down. I'm thinking that was what they intended for Clover. Like that this creature was like clumsy, kept crashing into buildings. So I think that some of the a good majority of the destruction that it caused was it was doing so unintentionally.
Exactly, exactly. That's kind of how. Yeah, the slim and bony. Yeah, that's the other thing too about it's the design about the creature is that its skin is so thin it may as well just be bone. It does have an almost skeletal kind of look to it.
Yeah, that was a very unique quality it had. I think you are right about it being a baby. I believe, yeah, like we said, Matt Reeves did confirm that when he was interviewed about the whole backstory about Clover.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's basically that's pretty much how they kind of what is it? I'm sorry, I'm at a lot lost my train of thought for a sec.
That's
That's basically like what we were not supposed to be under the interpretation of what this creature is actually supposed to be. We thought at the beginning that this was an intelligent creature, and while it still is, we didn't realize that it was still at a very young age to where it doesn't understand, I guess you got to say the it's facts of life, if you will.
pretty much. Yeah, but let's see here. I wanted to cover show what Chris was saying. Yeah, I mean, hey, it's all right, Chris. If you feel like you can't join that, don't worry. It's not a big deal. Oh, here, what's oh here, oh no, never mind. I thought I saw something in the comments, but anyway, so yeah, obviously they wanted to make this thing have so much as much realism as possible. Like the whole found footage aspect really made the whole thing feel real.
Yeah, it really did. It really did.
Yeah, and then not only it's like there feels like it's like their whole mission at first was just get the hell out of New York, but then Rob gets a call from Beth. I guess they broke up, but to some at some point recently because they showed at the start of the film they were together on April 27th, and yet here it was March. It was shown later on in May.
Right. Yeah.
So
So it's
they're
almost close to a year or so that
well
they were
month.
together.
Wait, what? A
Oh,
year. This is a month later.
no, I meant to say months. Excuse me,
It's all right.
not a year.
That's all right. Yeah, I figured it's all right. So yeah, so Beth was was apparently trapped in the apartment. So that Rob, based on what Rob was hearing on the phone from her, while we were on the Brooklyn Bridge, then they decided, you know what, we got to go back and get her. And also, they were running out of ways to get out of the city because the Clover had smashed apart the Brooklyn Bridge, and in the process killed Rob's brother Jason.
Right. Which I still remember. That was probably the part that got me, where he just witnessed his own brother being killed.
Yeah,
And he's just in total shock that he just lost his brother.
yeah, totally. It's insane how a situation gets worse in just a split second.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Oh yeah, and man, then they came across. Oh wait, school is so close to being over. I will have to rewatch this movie. Oh, definitely, yes, it's definitely worth rewatching. It's I one thing I noticed about this movie. It's pretty short. It's only an hour and 13 minutes long, but you actually but the intensity of it, you feel it really does feel longer than it actually is.
Yeah. Really.
Yeah, just like another found footage movie that I am very fond of. My favorite found footage horror film, Wreck.
Wreck.
Yeah, this it has just about that same amount of runtime, but yeah, the oh my god, the suspense, the terror, it really. It's I don't care what the runtime is. This thing is a masterpiece.
Yeah, really. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and we got to start covering the sequels to that too.
That's correct. Yeah, Wreck is great. It
Yes, it
really
is.
is.
I will say this: the only sequel I'm very fond of is Wreck Two. The other ones not so much.
I've only well so far I've only seen the first one. I haven't seen the other Wreck movies yet.
Uh, the second one is worth seeing.
Yeah,
Yes,
definitely.
yes. You haven't happened to come across it, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm just not looking forward to this. Yeah, speaking of sequels, after this, we're like, here's a reminder. After this, we're covering Jaws 3 and then Jaws the Revenge. Two sequels that I'm not looking forward to.
Well, I know Brad is. He's
Uh,
gonna have a hell of a time with you.
I know.
I'm not stopping him because I'm good friends with Brad. So you're
Okay.
on your own.
And yeah, to the rest of the FearFans crew, yeah, sometimes we have watch parties to like to like for upcoming movies that for upcoming what we're covering on the podcast. Yeah, like if you guys want to watch Jaws the Revenge, yeah, feel free to do so on your own. I really don't want to watch it again. Oh man, but anyway, so yeah, Clover. Yeah, let me. I wanted to get into what they were to when I mentioned parasites before. You were talking about like those baby. You used to call them baby creatures that came off of Clover. I actually looked up what they really were. Here,
Parasites, you said, right?
yeah, these little monsters refer to as the parasites, which are smaller, more agile creatures that emerge from the main monster Clover. These parasites are numerous, covering the main monster, and are capable of biting and causing explosive injuries in humans, like we saw with Marlena.
Yeah, yeah. Which I was trying to understand, like what was exactly. It didn't make any sense at first that like people explode after getting bitten, but it must be some type of disease that must be inside that they carry.
Yeah, a disease that causes somebody's head to explode. I mean, it was only depicted in like shadows. It didn't actually show like
No, it didn't.
yeah. It was depicted like she was taken like into a medical tent, and then like right inside that tent, you can only see like her shadow, and then
Yeah,
yeah, I was just like,
that to me, I didn't understand what that was actually the first thing I noticed from that movie was like during that scene, I'm thinking to myself, the hell just happened? I was like, I was actually kind of confused at the very beginning, saying, what the hell just happened to her?
parasites. Here, I want to like show a picture of that as well. Hang on. So yeah, these things are. I always thought they were very crustacean-like.
Yeah, they kind of. Well, I actually thought they looked more spider-like or arachnid than crustacean. I thought they had a more
Frustration. Whoa,
arachnid.
what?
That's what I had to correct myself. Crustacean.
You almost said like castration. I'm like, whoa, whoa.
No, no, I almost said crustration.
I was like,
You know
whoa.
what?
I was like,
That's
where did
not.
that come from?
Hey, you know what? I'm just gonna say that's not a real word. It is now.
Jesus. Yeah. So yeah, these things, yeah, very crustacean,
Oh,
spider-like. They're vicious as hell. You get bit by one of these things, then it's over.
Kate said she'll be on in 5 minutes.
Oh, great. Yeah,
No, okay.
she must still be putting her daughter.
Remind me between a tick and a prawn.
Yeah, it kind of does. Now that you mention it, it kind of does look like it looks
Ugh.
It looks what?
tick like like a
Tick-like.
tick.
Yeah. Oh, a tick. Yeah, a tick.
Yeah, like ticks from the woods. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't
Yes.
ever get bitten by those. They stay stuck onto your legs a lot, and they're also kind of in a way they carry a pretty deadly disease. They're
Yeah.
known to carry
Yeah.
Lyme disease.
Yeah, Lyme disease, the disease that almost killed Avril Lavigne.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
anyone plans on going to the woods this year, make sure you have bug spray. What to keep them
Oh yeah.
off.
Or these things that I
Yeah.
found in
Yeah.
I was in Costco. Yeah, I was in Costco recently, and I came across this right here.
A flamethrower?
No, this device apparently runs on battery for it lasts like about 72 hours, and it
Oh,
keeps all
wow.
bugs away from you within a 20 foot radius.
Wow.
I think I need one of those. Australia, if you're listening, please get one of those.
Yeah.
Could.
Us Americans got it bad as far as mosquitoes too.
Oh,
Yeah, no.
telling me.
Oh yeah.
Awful.
Oh yeah. We got mosquitoes. We got ticks. We got horse flies. We got
Oh,
all sorts of bad
Ugh.
bugs.
And then
Yeah.
last year, I mean, not that they're dangerous,
Cockroaches.
but I'll throw it in anyway. Last year we had the swarms of cicadas, that 13 and 17-year ones. They were everywhere. I
Are those
mean,
those big? Sorry, Nick, to cut you off. Are those big cicadas? Are they like big crickets?
Yeah.
not necessarily. I mean, they're not.
Uh,
We have annual. I mean, we there's two different types groups we have of cicadas over here. We got the annual ones that come out every year, which means we'll have them, later this summer. And they're a little larger, but there's also not just here in Illinois, throughout the group. We all, oh, he's got pick. Yeah, these are
Oh,
the
okay.
that came out last year. We have throughout here,
Thank
well,
you.
not just here in the U.S., throughout Canada and Mexico too, throughout
Oh,
all
yeah.
North America.
yeah.
We have two different types of groups of cicadas. Those are the bicentennial ones. Oh, sorry, not the no centennial ones. We have 13 and 17-year groups that come out every 13 and 17 years. And last year we had, for the first time in over 200, something years, both groups came out together, and we were the furthest north to have them. They were as far north as Illinois,
Mhm.
southern Wisconsin, as far
Yeah.
west as partially Iowa, as far down
Mhm.
south as Louisiana, far down southeast as Georgia, and as far complete east toward Virginia. So they were all over the place. They covered half of the country.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no. I love your comment, Kate.
Yeah, yeah. Wait, let's see this here. Australia would need double XL versions for the bear bugs. And yeah, it was biblical, Kate. It really was. It was like a biblical plague we had of them last year, and they were so loud. Oh my God, their
Oh yeah,
song was never ending.
Yeah.
for sure. Let's see. Oh, and also, one thing I also noticed this movie that it does not have, that movies typically have. Um, we have the same thing in the birds. Like we covered the when we covered the birds.
Yep.
This movie is
Mhm.
missing one thing that you usually that's typical in movies. What do you think that one thing is?
Sorry. Gee.
It's
I
okay.
haven't
Like
seen it, so
what do you usually hear in movies?
You hear an alarm
people
or something,
dying.
right?
No, in
Oh,
movies.
music.
Music. Yeah, there's no music in this movie.
Yeah, because it's a found footage movie.
Yeah, exactly. They like
Oh,
having no music. Like they felt like they needed to do that to add more realism to it. So it's like, but they're actually the only time you ever do hear music is at the beginning of the film. Yeah, I
yeah.
believe they did play some Sean Kingston at one point.
Oh wow, jeez.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, and I think that guy's facing some legal trouble today.
I know. I just found out that he's gotten in trouble recently. I think when I first heard, I'm like, what? Because I used to listen to
Um,
some of his music back. I mean, I know I'm more into metal music
Same.
more, but back then I used to listen to some of his music back in high school. And he looked like he was pretty much around the same age as us, and it looked like he had such a bright future ahead of him. I can't believe now that he's in jail.
I know.
yeah.
It really
Yeah.
disappoints us.
Yeah. I hear crackling or something.
It's
Not
probably
quite.
on my end.
Yeah, it's probably her end.
Okay, I was about to say I think we got some interference. Yeah, but yeah, and let's see. There was and like this movie, like I said, it it was just like very well advertised. Like a show, like people were like in the dark when this movie came out. It was like it was like, is this supposed to be like a terrorist attack? Is there something terrorizing the city? Is there is there some sort of apocalyptic events? Like everybody was like really kept in the dark until the movie came out.
Yeah, really.
So yeah, good. So I say I congratulate them for building up some great suspense. Yeah.
Sorry, Nikki just said something in the chat. No, I don't. We don't hear the noise anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good. She
Yeah.
was asking about the crinkling that was going on.
Okay. I got you. Yeah, like some people like divided on as far as the one character Hudson or Hud as everybody calls him.
Yeah,
Yeah, like it's like Hud is like is Rob's best friend, but he like people lots of people considered him to be pretty obnoxious and socially awkward.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Really,
Yeah, and he was played by T.J. Miller.
that's
Yeah,
right.
it was an early role for him. Let's see, T.J. Miller. let's see, like one bad movie I remember him from was the Emoji Movie, where he was like the main. Oh my god,
I never even seen that movie.
good,
Don't
don't,
plan to.
don't.
Yeah,
I
that's
feel
fine.
yeah, but anyway, but yeah, he was in Ready Player One. He played that IROC guy. He was a villain.
I
Yeah,
rock. Wasn't that a village? Like, wasn't that a villain from like Super Mario or something like that?
oh, Crackling's back.
Crackling's back. Yeah.
But yeah, T.J. Miller, his career has been like pretty much all over the place. Yeah, but yeah, like and especially like oh my god, that one right as he when he was killed off near the end, like where like he's face to face with a monster, like after their helicopter crash. And also, I thought it was pretty dumb that they decided the helicopter just lingered over the monster. It's like you got civilians on board. This is an evacuation. Why are you keeping them so close to where the whole city's being bombed now? That was stupid. But then oh yeah, the crackling's back again.
Oh, Pete's sake.
Yeah, I know. It's
I'll go mute.
it's frustrating.
Yeah, but and so then when right when they get oh here Kate's back.
Oh, yay!
Hey,
Hey,
Kate.
Hi guys, how are you?
Doing
doing
great.
good. How are you?
I'm good. Apologies for the delay. She's asleep now. Yay.
That's good.
Took a while.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, so yeah, we were just talking about how the character. You ever seen you have you seen Cloverfield, Kate?
So I have, but I remember more Cloverfield Lane.
Oh yeah, the
Oh,
scene.
Yeah.
Cloverfield Lane. Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I really liked that because I liked the whole sort of, what are the names of those people that prepare for like doomsday?
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
Like the preppers,
like
right?
the preppers like have a bomb shelter and everything.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So I remember really liking that because this guy
Is it-
had like all the prep stuff and everything.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah, even though it was different from the original, I still think it's as good as the original.
yeah, yeah, definitely. But I had to rewatch the trailer, and I have seen Cloverfield. I do remember it, but I was very young at the time when I saw it. But I remember it was very Godzilla-esque,
Yeah, that's what we're
very
saying.
in the moment, very realistic in a way. Apart from, I have a little bit of beef because there's no strong female characters in it. Not that I remember.
Well, yeah. Now that you mention it, like strong female leads. I mean, they
Yeah,
spent the majority of the film trying to get Rob trying to get his girlfriend back.
exactly. And it's like the damsel in distress, that kind of story again. And I'm just like, oh, why isn't there a strong female lead in
Well,
this? But
but
yeah,
to be fair, I think she did demonstrate strength by continuing out the rest of the movie, even after having a serious injury of having a rebar impaled right through your shoulder. So
Yeah,
true.
really.
yeah,
Yeah. But you kind of don't have a choice because you couldn't like I sometimes think about those movies, everyone is in the street and they're
Mhm.
just like running and it's just chaos, isn't it? I'm just like, why don't you just stay in your house? Just
well,
stay in your house
the
and it'll
monster
be fine.
the monster was tearing buildings down. So
True.
if they stayed in the city, there wouldn't be a house. If the I mean,
But where are they going?
they were
Where do
trying
you
to
have
take they were trying to take the bridges out, like such as the scene with the Brooklyn Bridge, right? They were trying to
okay.
literally any way possible to evacuate from the city, because also the military was going to be bombing this thing, so they didn't want any civilians around when that was happening.
Yeah. I guess you need a boat.
Yeah, boat. There you
Oh
go.
yeah,
Yeah. Try and get a boat from somewhere. Or
oh yeah,
swim.
hmm
Well,
yeah.
that
No,
is if you want to swim. That is if you're willing to swim in the East River. Although Kramer from Seinfeld did swim in the East River one time.
Ew.
oh my god.
In fact, I'm just gonna throw the joke out. Like, how could you swim in that water? I saw a couple other guys out there swimming, well, floating. They weren't moving much, but they were out there.
Oh my god.
That's terrible.
Yeah, Jesus. But yeah, what I thought was really dumb was like the way Hudson, where the way I keep calling him Hudson because I think I keep thinking New York
Like,
Hudson. Yeah, I keep thinking New York Hudson River. So
the Hudson River, yeah.
yeah, but yeah, HUD. He was. I thought the way HUD went down was just stupid. He like right after their helicopter crash, they got out, but then HUD just comes right face to face with the creature with Clover, decides to stand there and film it. I'm guessing he probably just went and thought, Oh, if Hank Azaria could get away with that in 1988 Godzilla, so could I.
Yeah.
But nope,
Yeah.
nope. Clover just bit him in half. Yeah, like it doesn't show like the half, but you can just hear the crunch and like the way his body came down, and I'm like I thought it was pretty clear that he was bitten in half.
Guys, real quick, Nikki has to leave early because she said that it's the weather's starting up again, and she can't hear us,
Oh,
for the most part.
Yeah.
So she didn't want to be rude or anything, like for leaving early. So
oh no,
she
I
wanted to
understand.
tell you guys that.
Oh,
Oh
Yeah.
no
no,
worries. You
So
stay safe.
I was like, Kate's just joined me, and I don't want to be rude, thinking, maybe it was Kate's joining.
oh hey,
But it's just
we
I can't hear you or anything, and it's
oh
getting a
oh no,
bit
we
unsafe. So.
yeah we totally get it, Nikki.
Yeah, stay
Yeah.
safe.
All right,
Please,
take care.
please be safe.
Be safe.
Thank you, sweetie. See you tomorrow. Bye.
You see it.
Bye.
Oh yeah. So yeah, and looking back at this movie, it's like 2008. I just think about those people like partying and have a good time. I'm like, man, with like times were a lot simpler back then, and this is not even that long ago, 2008.
I mean, yeah, it takes
Yeah,
place like
Oh,
just
yeah,
like takes place with a party like you'd see in any part of New York City, and it
yeah.
definitely was a simpler life, even though that even though these were all like college age students, it was still a much better time for a lot of people even back then.
yeah. I think these were all like at like post college people because
Graduate school
they
students.
were yeah I think they were all graduated already because they did mention like before there was talk about how Rob had a crush on like Beth ever since college. So I think it's fair to assume that these are all like graduates, like probably their late
Yeah.
20s. Probably I want to say late 20s.
Yeah, at
Why is
least.
it always New York?
New I know New York. I
Hey,
know New York is always targeted for monster attacks or disasters. Probably
well,
well I think mainly because it's the biggest city in this country. So
yeah,
Yeah.
but that's what it's always back then. It was always like New York City. Now we're starting to see a lot, and I'm basically speaking this from because I've noticed this myself. Now we're starting to see a lot more TV shows and movies being shot around Chicago now. I mean,
yeah.
Chicago is now starting
Yeah.
to get almost just as many is starting to becoming having just as many filming spots as New York City has.
Oh yeah, especially now more than ever
Mhm.
with those three shows: Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, and Chicago Med.
Yeah.
Well, and the TV series, it only lasted. I think it only lasted for one season.
Shameless,
Huh?
Shameless.
No, not Shameless. I was going to say it's a different show. I think it was only in Chicago for one season. The television series of The Exorcist that was shot in Chicago too.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think I drove past a spot where they were filming it.
Yeah, yeah, that's what. Yeah, they filmed a lot of spots throughout the city. In fact, there was even one scene I still remember where far out in the background you could see the Congress Hotel, which ironically is a haunted hotel itself. So they filmed quite a good portion of Chicago for the Exorcist television series, which
Hmm.
first season was a complete success. It was kind of like a remake of the original Exorcist. Course, obviously, when the new one came out, they kind of changed. I haven't seen it, but I heard that kind of changed things up. But it was still a very popular season, but I heard season two wasn't as good. I seen the first season, just not season two.
Oh,
Yeah.
and look what I just recently got.
You got The Exorcist, don't you? Oh, you got. Is that the
Oh,
book?
the book.
Yep.
Oh wow, look at that.
That's awesome.
Can't wait to read this.
Oh, trust me, you're in for a hell of a time. I haven't read it myself, but I heard it is scary as hell.
Yeah, like right as soon as I finish reading another Stephen King book, I'm getting right to this.
Mm,
Well, and it's hard to
yeah, it's
believe
a good
too.
one.
It's hard to believe too. I've also, because again, it is based off of true events. It's even more harder to believe. I've been to the actual house where it actually occurred. Well, not inside the house, but we were outside of it because to this day, it's still a residential property. So the
Right.
closest we can get to is being outside. But either way, I've been to the actual
Mm,
site where it happened,
I said, oh wow.
which is even more chilling.
Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, like I said, Kate, like New York. I guess they choose New York for like these monster movies and these disaster movies because bigger city. That means more chaos, more
yeah.
carnage. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess it's iconic, isn't it? Like you would instantly recognize it.
Yeah,
exactly.
very much so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
New York is like one of the most iconic is like one of the, is like the arguably the most iconic city in this whole country. I
Yeah.
mean, I know
Yeah.
it's like I know I'm from Chicago. I should be honoring my city, but at the same time, like it's like, but yeah, Chicago has all sorts of things going for it. Chicago's iconic as well.
I think Chicago's better,
Yeah,
to
well,
be
well, not
honest.
only that, let's
Yeah.
not forget, Don, we kind of do have a rivalry with New York City because of our deep dish pizza we have.
Pizza.
I
Yes.
mean,
Yeah.
I mean, that's there's been a bitter rivalry between those two cities about who's got the best deep dish here in this country. I mean, and this is something that's been going on well over for 50 years. This rivalry,
Right.
it's been going on since the 60s.
Right. Let me just address New York right now. Sorry, we got better pizza.
Careful what you wish for, Don. There could be somebody from New York watching right now, and they're going to say, and this just goes to show that it's still going. Again, it's been going on since the 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I responded to your statement by doing this.
and I also think too. I mean, like, not only do I agree with you, Kate, that Chicago is better. I also think too that Chicago, I think, has had a lot more historic moments than New York
Yeah.
City has had. I think we've had a lot more historical figures in New York City.
Yeah, we've had Al Capone, we've had
Walt Disney was originally here from
Walt Disney.
Chicago.
Yeah, we have Walt Disney. Oh, the actor who played Rob in this, he's from Chicago.
Oh,
And of
interesting.
course,
Yeah, I
let's
looked him
not
up.
forget. Let's not forget one other movie that was shot here in Chicago was the Blues Brothers.
Yeah,
Yeah. And The Dark Knight.
Dark
Batman.
Knight.
Dark
That was
Knight. Yeah,
another one.
let's see. The original Playboy Mansion was here. Let's see. I don't know if I told you this, Nick, but my dad was had a membership of Playboy, like with a fake ID when he was in high school.
Of course.
Yeah, so
Whoa.
he had his first drink there.
And there was one. And there's another TV show. I mean, not necessarily shot around the city. It was still in one. It was in one location, and this started back in the early '70s. Well, I doubt you guys would have ever seen this show because it was from over 50 years ago. There was the musical variety show Soul Train, which was, for the African American community. That was first broadcasted. It was first here in Chicago before
Right.
they moved it over to California, in the later years. But it started here too. And believe it or not, another historic thing I just thought about. Most people don't know about this, but even the Wright brothers, like who invented the first flying aircraft, which yes was in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina,
Yep.
they came over here on a few occasions too, and so Chicago in some way kind of played a role to our very first aircraft.
Yeah, and also Chicago, very first brownie was made here.
Mm.
And in a more paranormal aspect, I just forgot this, Kate. I never even told you this. Chicago was also the city where it aired the very first televised exorcism
Wow. That's
Wow.
crazy.
on NBC back in, and this was even before you talk about The Exorcist. This was even before The Exorcist came out it was in April of 1971 that it was filmed, and you
Wow.
can find that footage on YouTube. It's there. It was
Oh,
so
wow.
we even had the first exorcism televised here.
That's crazy.
Yeah, let's see. So, and we were just talking earlier. I think like I did suspect for a while that this that Cloverfield was sort of played as sort of a metaphor for 9/11.
That's what I was saying before, is you combine the two to a real life event, and it makes total sense when you really think about it.
Yeah. Like let's see here. Let me do some. Oh, yeah, it says right here. It says right here, even though the film was released several years after the terror attacks of September 11, 2001, having a real monster attack New York City became a metaphor of 21st century anxieties. It works in the same way that Godzilla was really a metaphor for its time back in 1954 because of all the nuclear bomb testing.
Yep.
Yeah, A bomb in Hiroshima. Yeah, this is a statement that Matt Reeves had made as well.
Mm.
Yeah. So he said he wanted to let people live through their wildest fears, but to be in a safe place where the enemy is the size of a skyscraper instead of a stateless, unseen, cowardly terrorist. That's what J.J.
Right.
Abrams. That's J.J. Abrams' statement.
Which makes sense.
Hi,
And
Bill.
another Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. What were you going to say, Kate?
I was just saying hi to Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris has been in the chat. Another thing that should be noted too is what I think is also rather important when it comes to this movie is, again, like what I mentioned earlier, when Matt Reeves wanted to use a monster that was far more insane than like what King Kong was. There's also something different. There's also something that definitely is different compared to King Kong. In the end, King Kong, basically has a love interest for a human being. This creature, on the other hand, although it's frightened, it has no regard to human life. It
Yeah.
has no like secondary thought of what we're supposed to be. It's not a mindless, you know, monster that just wants to kill. It's an intelligent creature that is getting attacked, and it almost goes by that classic example to show that we're pretty much more of the monsters than the monster itself.
Yeah,
Hmm.
because I think this monster Clover had just been awakened from the Atlantic Ocean and made its way into the city of New York. So this had to have been like the first time Clover had ever seen human beings.
Yeah, so didn't understand what they were.
Yeah, it didn't understand the whole concept of buildings. It didn't understand, people running in terror from it. It didn't understand, the military response of shooting and trying to blow it up.
Wonder why Tom's saying Transformers.
But he was saying Transformers was filmed here in Chicago.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was Transformers.
That's yep.
Well, and
Hmm.
it still makes you wonder again. The fact that it's supposed to be, despite its huge size, that it's a baby creature, it still makes you wonder, how do the adults act? Like, how intelligent are they? Like, do they know what humans are? Do they know what buildings are? Do they know what the lifestyle here on Earth is compared to their dimension that they're from?
Right. I mean, I apply the same thing to like sharks. Sharks are one of the animals that people fear the most, right? But they spend the majority of their lives like way out in the ocean, like far away from human beings, right? So if they happen to come across shallow areas and they see like a bunch of people, chances are they've never seen a human being before. And
Yeah.
sharks tend to be very curious animals. So if it happens to like go up and bite someone, sometimes it's a lot of people say it could be just mistaken identity. Think it's like a seal, like you're a seal or something when you're like on a board or anything like that. I think in some instances a shark would bite someone as like experimental. They don't know what this is.
Yeah.
They don't know if it's edible. They don't know what. So yeah, some of it could just be a shark's curiosity.
Not only that, we may, for any of us that have swam in the ocean, we probably have been close swimming with them a lot more than we think. Even in fact, because I watch Shark Week every year, my dad has said to me, times when we swam out in Mexico, like when we went on our cruises to Mexico and Jamaica and some of the other, some of the other coastal areas or Florida. He says to me one time, they've been swimming with them and probably never even knew they were swimming right next to you. It's
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
don't always show up, with their fin out of the water.
Sharknado. Oh god.
Sharknado.
Yeah.
We still got to cover that one and get just to get Tom's reaction out of it.
Yeah, yeah, a movie about sharks in a water cyclone, or a water spout, and the main character's name is Finn. Like really?
you know, I showed this
Oh, man.
I showed this before, and I think I got to show this funny clip because this is basically Tom's reaction if we were to talk about Sharknado. I don't think this should be a
Here,
copyright issue. It's
right.
only about 15 seconds, but you'll get the idea. It's actually one of the most interesting Man of the World commercials, but I love the reaction. So here's Tom's reaction to Sharknado.
Wait, Nick, hang on, one second. I want to get to this comment. I want to read this real
Yeah,
quick. I want
okay.
to respond. So Alex, he says he got jump scared by a shark in the ocean before. I actually did. Funny you mentioned that because I actually did cross paths with a shark before. It was a leopard shark. It was about I want to say 4 feet. Yeah, and not sharks aren't always out to get you. They're usually like afraid. They usually, in many cases, are afraid of people. Like we meet him. It's like he swam toward, like I walked towards the like deeper water. He came towards me, and then when he saw me, he just darted off. I only got a glimpse of him for like a split second, but I knew he was like 4 feet. That's a pretty big size for a leopard shark.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I would be more afraid of the one shark I would actually be afraid of crossing paths with would be the bull shark. Three reasons. Three reasons. One reason, they are one of the most aggressive shark species. They can swim in both fresh and salt water, and they love shallow areas.
Yep. I actually just recently found out another spot where they're known to frequent, and it's a lake. Believe it or not, it's down in Central America on Lake Nicaragua.
Oh.
They're there too. Lake Nicaragua, which is also the largest lake, I think, down in freshwater lake down in Central America. But they're they're in Lake Nicaragua.
Yeah, like we could find bull sharks in the Mississippi River now too. So, I mean, not now. I don't mean just now. I mean, I don't know why I said you can find them there now because they've always been there. You could always find them in Mississippi River. So they travel pretty far up north through that. And so, Kate, I wanted to ask while we're on the topic.
You mind if I show the response?
Yes,
just for a laugh. Here's Tom. This is pretty much Tom's reaction if we were to show Sharknado. It may look unrelated, but it's as close as I could ever get.
Oh man,
it's only 15 seconds.
Go for it.
Okay, hopefully you guys can hear it.
No. Stay thirsty, my friend.
Yeah. See, what did I tell you? He'd be like,
no. Just that's his response. Just no.
Yeah.
Oh, first big monster movie in Chicago. Oh yes, I do remember that movie. It's Tom. I saw that featured in Mystery Science Theater 3000 and Svengoolie.
I remember. I was thinking about that too. I'm thinking to myself, there actually was a giant monster movie in Chicago. Yeah, it was the beginning of the end. I remember I used to love watch that movie on Svengoolie.
Yeah, and also another staple of Chicago, Svengoolie, and both me and Nick have met him many times.
Chris is like that reaction to sparkly vampires.
Kate, Svengoolie, he knows us.
Oh, that's cool.
I've seen him several times. I showed a while back. I was brief. One of my pictures ended up on his show at one time.
That's true. I saw that.
Awesome. Yeah.
I would
was there. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yes, Makos, they swim fast. So
they go 30 miles an hour.
You do make a good point there, Alex.
And Tom also. Oh wait, that's what Tom said. Never mind. I'm a little scared. Oh well, see,
you clicked the wrong thing.
See, the one I'd be more afraid of, I think, believe it or not, would be a Mako. I'm sorry, not Mako. Oceanic white tip. They're extremely aggressive too. They're the one type of shark that's often most associated with ship and plane wrecks in the ocean.
Yeah, that's true. I've heard some news stories about that. But
including the Indianapolis.
It's like I always thought it's like whenever I hear people say, "Oh, the one shark I would never want to run into is a great white," I'm thinking, and let me guess, you're afraid of great whites because of this.
Yeah.
Well, the oceanic white tip, I think, is far more dangerous, believe it or not. And like I said, that's mostly associated with wrecks, including the sinking of the Indianapolis. Which, by the way, in less than a month from now, I may actually put a watch party together for this. But this year marks the 70th anniversary of the sinking of the Indianapolis.
Oh yes, the Indianapolis.
Not necessarily that we would actually do a FearFans episode, but with being the history guy that I always am, I'm considering about doing a watch party when everyone's available to kind of commemorate more than it's not for FearFans, more to commemorate this tragic event.
Yeah.
And there's a documentary that was made about over 15 years ago that I bought on YouTube. It actually did used to air on Shark Week, but now I have the full documentary.
Yeah, the Indianapolis. That's the ship that delivered the bomb that destroyed Hiroshima, World War II.
Yep, that's right, and they say that's the one that caused the most shark attacks ever because of everybody being in the ocean
and sharks stalking me. Oh yeah, so pretty much like open water.
Yeah, very much like open water, and that's basically
we got to cover that one too.
Yeah, and that's basically what kind of is close to that. It is what I just described about the sinking of the Indianapolis. That's pretty much what it was with these guys that were out there. They were stalked by sharks for 4 days and 5 nights.
Yeah. Watched Shark Tank. Never saw one. Shark was disappointing.
Well, they did do it. I don't know if you saw about
Woke
2
up with
years ago
chills.
or so. They did a special of Shark Tank on Shark Week.
Yeah.
I have to
So
say, it's really weird because in the US, you call it Shark Tank, but in the UK, we call it Dragon's Den.
Dragon's Den.
Dragons. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah,
it's
that's
different titles.
yeah,
Yeah, so weird.
yeah, yeah. Like saying like in different countries, we always call things differently. Yeah,
Yeah, like Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, and you
yeah.
guys called it the
The
Sorcerer's
Sorcerer's
Stone. It's like,
I've
what?
always referred
Cult,
it,
yeah,
believe it or not, to the Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah.
yeah. Cultural differences.
Hey, Braxton's in the house.
Braxton, what's up, man?
Hi, Braxton.
Oh yeah. Hey. Oh, here I got to do this.
Yeah, I was about to show that one.
Yeah, that's so
Okay.
And
true.
you know what's funny?
Kate's worst horror movie is anything with Nicolas Cage. Yes, especially when I was in a recent horror film where I played a satanic serial killer.
Yeah, and
Well,
Ghost
it's
Rider.
funny. It's funny. I just realized something else. It sounds unrelated, but all this talk I said about the Indianapolis, they also made a movie about the Indianapolis, and
It
Nicolas Cage is also in it.
There,
Oh
where
no.
I tried to avoid being killed by many sharks.
Do you know what? I read a post on Reddit today, and it was like, name one of the worst actors that you love to hate. And I was like, come on, there's got to be Nick Cage on there.
Come
And
on. You know
honestly,
what I don't like? Come on.
70% said Nick Cage. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
get it.
yeah.
I get it.
Braxton. Yes, I saw that movie in theaters too. Yeah, like everybody was really getting into man, like found footage horror was definitely on the rise during
Mm,
that time because you got that we've had Paranormal Activity. Oh, and also Quarantine is a American remake of my favorite found footage horror film, Rock. Love this movie.
yeah, it's Spanish, right? The original.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I remember that. That's really good.
Yeah, it was filmed in Barcelona. I think that's that city's called. I always have
Barcelona.
Barcelona. Yeah, that's the one.
Mm,
Barcelona. That's how you
yeah,
pronounce it. Yeah, Barcelona,
that
Spain.
was a great
Yep.
film.
Don't forget Chance the Snapper, alligator found in oh,
Yeah,
right,
Lincoln Park Lagoon.
right.
Yeah.
So yeah, and oh man, like I just love how like ambiguous the ending is. It's like you don't know if the monster was killed. You don't know if Rob and Beth survived. I mean, I want to think they did because they were under the bridge. They were like avoiding. I think they avoided a majority of the rubble. So
Mm,
there is a chance they could have been saved. So, I mean, it didn't say in the beginning. They just said that the footage was recovered. They never said if the people who shot it were rescued.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, they just said like recovered in what was originally called Central Park. So, which implies that Central Park, along with the majority of New York, if not all of New York, was reduced to rubble.
Well,
Mm,
that's another thing too that what I find interesting. Somebody said this one time, but Cloverfield was the first real monster movie that really focused more on the survivors than like what you previously seen in previous monster movies, like where you usually focus on the military. There was nothing like Mr. President, we need to bomb the city. They didn't have any of that. So that's what I find really fascinating about the way how we saw from the survivor's perspective and only just getting word about it more than actually seeing the interference you normally see in these films.
Right. And Braxton, I am 100% with you on that. We definitely will cover Sinners at one point on this podcast.
He has been talking about that nonstop. He must really
I mean,
like
hey,
that movie.
I gotta say, I can't blame him. I'm 100% with him on that.
I still need to see it myself. I still
What?
haven't seen
yeah,
it.
What?
same. I haven't seen
I
it.
haven't had any opportunities to go see it. You guys already saw. We were going to go see it after, like I was going to do that for a birthday present, but you went before I could even give you the plan to do so. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
because
hey,
because I was out on a date.
yeah, I know, but I mean,
Yeah,
hey,
she wanted to see it.
I mean, hey, as Sylvester Stallone would say, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. Reduce the hell, and also final. Oh yes, we are definitely covering Final Destination Bloodlines. Yes, well, we got to cover the other Final Destination movies first. I feel like doing them in order is like the best one. The way we got to cover the third one next. So, but
Yeah.
yes, Braxton, we will get to that. We will. I'm aiming. I'm trying to see if I can do so like before this year is out. I don't want to wait too long. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is very layered. I agree. It's definitely has. It's like I love the characters. I love the drama. Like there's just so much to enjoy about Sinners.
Hmm.
You should do the reactions for Cloverfield. Oh yeah, we could cover 10 Cloverfield Lane at some point. Yes, I agree, Tom.
Wasn't it a trilogy, the
Yes,
Cloverfield
yes. There
thing?
was
Yeah, it
Cloverfield,
was.
10 Cloverfield Lane, and Cloverfield Paradox.
Oh, I
And,
didn't see the last one.
and
Okay.
in
Oh, yeah.
spite of the names, they are not necessarily like sequels. It's in the same universe, but they're not necessarily sequels.
Right. It's like a
Hmm.
different story each time. Like
Yeah.
kind of like an anthology. Yeah. But they did try. We mentioned this earlier. They did try to give like this. They created like this theory, like in the third film, like in Cloverfield Paradox, implying that the chlorophyll monster is from another dimension.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
so that actually would make a bit more sense.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and man, I'm just thinking about back in like it's like 2008, where smartphones and like sharing social media. Like, can you imagine what it'd be like if it did have that in Cloverfield? Like everybody's sharing everything. Like it's like right, like everybody treated, like HUD that's like he was just weird for recording everything like with his camera. If Cloverfield took place today, everybody would have their phones out. Everybody in New York would
Yeah.
be filming everything that's going on, just sharing with their loved ones that this everything that's
Yeah,
happening.
live
Well,
streams everywhere.
Live streams,
it's
yes.
it's funny. It's funny you brought that up. I mean, this sounds unrelated, but I could see something similar like that. Like you guys know all too well when it comes to my scary stories books. One of the books that I have, not one of the original ones, one of the tribute ones that it's called Scary Stories Tribute to Terror.
Hmm.
There's a story that's actually probably one of my favorites in the book called Venetian Blinds.
Hmm.
And even though this was a book that came out like within the last 4 or 5 years or so that it came out, like you would think immediately that they would rely on the modern technology. Because long story short, it's about a baby. It's your classic babysitter story. Where in this
Hmm.
case, but there's a difference. In this one, she's babysitting two kids, and they're getting stalked by not a killer this time, but like a monster of some sort called the Venetian Blind Man. And Nicolas Cage there. No, he doesn't there. It would be nice if I could get him.
Whoa, that might be
Tony
too
Todd.
soon. Yeah,
Well,
too
that
soon.
would be great if he. That would have been great, before he passed. But unfortunately, never got the
Yeah,
opportunity.
I was about to
Hmm.
say a little too soon for that, Chris.
But
Yeah.
in the story, yeah, they're stalked by this monster practically. Like they hear all these strange noises. It's a dark and stormy night, and you would think again that they'd be live streaming and stuff like that. Kurt Tuckfield, the writer of the book, who I'm good friends with, he's like,
Oh, Tom does bring up a good point. Like, what would have been anyone done 30 years ago when there were no cell phones?
"No, we had
Well,
cell phones, but you had to be like a millionaire to have
yeah,
one."
yeah. Actually, I think he meant smartphones because it's like sure, cell phones existed in the 90s, but did not have the capabilities that iPhones have.
There were big boxes back
Yeah,
then.
there were no cameras, there was no social media, it was like the bare minimum as far as cell phones go.
But
Hmm.
anyways, yeah. So like the story I'm talking about, you notice very quickly, they're not talking live stream or anything like that.
Yeah,
It's
Chris.
because the writer Kurt Tuckfield had said it again. I'm good friends with. He explained that he didn't. He said it like the story I think in the 90s or so because he didn't want it to be set in the modern era because he said if this happened in modern times because the babysitter's a high school teenager.
Right.
So they'd be like, if this was if it's taking place now, she would take out her phone and just start live streaming everything. What's going on. When you set it at an earlier time, you don't have that aspect. Then the only thing type of phone you had in those days obviously was still the telephone, and that's pretty much how this story in Venetian Blinds goes. So I can understand a similar perspective, like when it comes to live streaming and whatnot.
Right.
Oh, look who just decided to show up! Pickle Tom!
Hey, Tom.
Hi, Tom.
Fine.
How are
How's it
you?
going?
Oh, I'm okay.
Cool.
I was
Well, I
just
gotta move
talking
my
about
chair.
you.
Yeah. We were just talking about how much you love Sharknado.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's my
Yeah,
favorite.
and we showed your reaction too. You just go, no.
Yeah. Gotta fix my sound. I wasn't prepared. I just kind of popped in.
Oh, I gotcha. Oh man, but here, let's see. 2000 is when Frost's cell phone would take pics. Oh yeah, like early 2000s were like the years when cell phones they were just starting to get cell phones to record video. So yeah, 2008 was a different time for cell phone technology. I think it was just like the year before is when the iPhone was first released.
Ugh,
Yeah.
iPhone.
Yep, that's right.
I hate anything Apple, so I'm biased.
How dare you?
iPhones are stupid.
Blasphemy.
And so are Macs.
I mean,
So are Macintoshes. So are Apple
You just have
computers.
to get used to them.
yes.
You
I
have
knew
to
how to
get
use
used to
Tom.
them.
I knew how to use
I
them.
I may have an iPhone, but I still rely on Windows.
I'm a full on Android Windows guy. I've never.
Again, Tom, that video is also your reaction to that. You're like, again, no.
Yeah, no.
iPad, Apple Watch,
Yeah, no.
iPhone, my AirPods are sitting over there.
You're in trouble now, Don.
It's just they became less enticing to me the more popular they got. Like I don't know, like it became trendy after the phones came out. Like the Apple computers, it wasn't trendy then. Like only the nerds had the Apple computers before the phones came out. And I liked the old Apple computers for graphics and stuff like that. They were better at the time than PCs. Not anymore. Now it's been leveled. But
yeah, and I was about to say, what's wrong with nerds? I mean, nerds are the ones who make computers and video games and TV possible.
Oh no,
so,
I loved it. I
yeah,
loved it.
It's like
but PCs were
it's like
better for games.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's like I'm sick. Yeah, I mean, hey, I'm sick of seeing like kids in grade schools like treat smart kids, nerdy kids like beneath them. When no, nerds are the people who are creating all sorts of technology, who are creating this. Without nerds, you would not have this.
Yeah, keep in mind, Peter was a nerd, and he always kept getting bothered by Randy.
Oh, of course, you would throw in some. Of course, you would throw in some for some random Family Guy reference.
Of course,
I actually did that earlier. That one podcast, my friend, the P Word. That I popped in just to say hi and everything, and they were talking about like different things that they couldn't comprehend. And dude actually brought up that people do put butter on a Pop-Tart.
Have you ever had butter on a Pop-Tart?
So I referenced the song, and they had no idea about the song.
I never. I mean, to be honest, I never was a big fan of Pop-Tarts. I only enjoyed just two flavors, and that's it. Just like the chocolate chip and the hot fudge sundae. That's it.
The cherry one was good for me.
You got to try butter on a Pop-Tart at least, because it's so freaking good.
But Tom. Earlier we were discussing how Cloverfield was parodied in South Park in that two-parter.
I vaguely remember that. I do actually.
I remember it well when I was a teenager watching that. It's like my parents had an issue with my parents always had an issue with me getting into South Park, thinking, oh, it's just a bunch of toilet humor and whatnot. But no, there's a lot more to the show than that.
But yeah, but there is a lot of toilet humor, which was the draw for me, really, and the fact that they pushed the envelope so much.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I feel like the whole point of South Park, what they're trying to convey, is that there's far more chaotic things going on in the world than children learning some swear words.
Yeah. God damn it.
Yeah.
I've heard it myself. Exactly. So yeah, that's kind of become kind of like a real life thing.
Mom, Kitty's being a dildo.
Yeah.
Because here's my take on this. Kids are going to learn swear words. It's inevitable. But getting rid of it's like parents have been wanted to get rid of South Park in the very beginning. It's like, okay, say they did. What would that have changed? Nothing. Because
Nothing.
if they're not learning swear word from South Park, there's a million other ways they're going to learn it. They could learn it from other TV shows. They could learn it from some people
Internet.
yeah, internet. They could learn it from people on the street who are who are
That's where
swearing
I
because their
learned it.
phone who are swearing because their phone died out of frustration. They could learn it from other kids on playground. They could even learn it from their own parents having an argument.
Yeah,
You know?
well, I mean, there was another show that did kind of do something like that, and that was also in the '90s, and it's with high school kids, and that's Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah,
Damn it,
but they weren't
damn it,
they
Beavis.
weren't as intense as some of the South Parks have gotten as far as like getting to that line and almost crossing it but not crossing it. Like but just getting to the line close enough to really piss people off.
Yeah,
But that's what they
I
wanted to
mean,
do and they achieved it.
yeah. I mean, Trey Parker and Matt Stone's ultimate goal was to make just about anything funny. I mean, their work is their way of expressing themselves. I mean, and and taking their show down would have done nothing. That would have made no difference. Kids are still going to learn swear words from literally anywhere. It's inevitable.
Yeah. I
You
learned it
know,
on the
it's
street.
just if it's just their parents' responsibility to educate kids as to why it's not appropriate for them to do so.
Hey, if you learn it on the street, Tom, all I'm just gonna say is, hey, I mean, you're from Philly, so I
Well,
mean, it's Philly, you know.
I grew up in a time where
Machi.
we weren't sitting here on computers. Like we didn't have like
Oh, Jesus.
smartphones or yeah, Orgasmo was a good movie. We didn't have
Revenge of the
smartphones. We didn't
Nerds.
have
That's a good one.
computers like we have today. The computers we had then were like word processors, the
Right.
TRS-80, stuff like
Right.
that. So we didn't care. I mean, we cared about our Nintendos. Oh, hey, don't take my Nintendo
We
away.
still do.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Wait. Oh, sorry,
so
Tom. go ahead.
we grew up learning it from each other, and the ones we learned it from their older brothers and sisters. So or movies, or I mean, that's just the way it was. It was a different time, man. I wish you guys could all experience the '80s. I really, really do.
I wish so
It was
too. I think
it
about
was
it
a
every day.
great,
Yeah.
great time. It really was.
I mean,
You
hey,
know what?
after
Rainbow.
seeing, after seeing all the popular things that kids got into in Stranger Things, like all those characters were into, in terms of pop culture and in terms of like like what they were doing for fun, like going
Yeah,
to malls and like things. It looked like a very simple time, and I'm just
we
like,
just didn't have demigorgons.
right, right.
But
But I'm just saying, it seems like a very interesting era to live in.
it was to
Aside,
be a kid was an
well,
awesome time to be a kid.
aside from the Cold War paranoia, that's like the one. That's like one
Well,
thing from Stranger Things that was real. So
as a kid, you didn't
Yeah.
have to worry about that.
Right.
We didn't care. We were out there with our BMX bikes, making trails in the woods with
Right.
little ramps and stuff like that,
Yeah.
or going into an abandoned warehouse somewhere, or like I mean, there was just so much to do. We left we left early in the morning after breakfast. Our parents didn't see us until dinner time, and then they didn't see us until bedtime. We were outside. We were doing stuff, getting into everything, going way further than we were allowed to go as far as boundaries.
right.
Like they'd say, "All right, you're not allowed to go into that neighborhood. It's too far." We're like, "All right, I'll see you later."
Hey, yeah, hey. I mean, hey, don't forget, you also had the Rainbow Rocky movies that came out around
Yeah,
that
well,
time. Right?
yeah.
Machi, wait,
Yeah.
I gotta zoom in with Machi. This is just too funny.
There she is.
Oh,
Machi, Machi,
Archie, how you doing?
she's got such big eyes.
He does.
She's a little bit stressed because there's a bit of a storm here, so she wanted to
Oh.
sit on me, and it's just like there's not enough room for you, me. But yeah,
Oh.
she wanted to sit on me.
She doesn't like storms.
No.
No. Yeah, lots of animals react badly to storms.
Yeah,
So.
but she's okay now.
No,
She's
that's
less
good.
stressed.
I mean, I will say this: the '80s was like a huge decade. I mean, the '80s was a huge decade for the film industry. I mean, you got
Oh yeah.
oh man, I mean, just in 1984 alone, you had Terminator, you had Gremlins, you had Raiders, or no, Indiana Jones: Temple of Doom. You had
Ghostbusters.
Yeah, so much going on, and let's see, Friday the 13th final chapter. Yeah, it's like granted that's the one that's not as great as those other movies you mentioned, but still,
Yeah.
just
And-
still slasher. Oh wait, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, 1985. Yes. That was 85. I'm sure.
No,
It had to be
Nightmare
10 years old when that came out.
Wait, no, Nightmare on Elm Street was
Nightmare on Elm Street
1984.
was 84.
Let's see. Yep, it was. It says right here.
Get the hell out of here! I was 9 years old when my grandparents took me to see that movie.
Wow.
Jeez, you're lucky.
Different times.
Hey, at
Wow.
least you got to experience the original in theaters. I had to experience that terrible remake.
Ugh.
Kate is muchy. I mean, is she like? Does she actually hear us on the screen? Is that why she's facing over us?
Yeah, she can see all the things like flash up and that. So she's looking. Yeah. Because I think cats they can't really see like the 2D stuff, but
If
they
it's an
can see
HD
like
monitor, they can.
Hmm.
If it's HD,
oh,
dogs and cats can see it. If it was like a regular tube TV like we used
yeah,
to have, they
Right.
couldn't see that. But
Huh.
this flat
weird,
screen
isn't
HD
it?
stuff, yeah, they can see it.
Wow.
Oh, don't bite me. She gets so vicious, like your cat, Nick. Look,
Oh
she's
yeah.
No,
gonna
it's
bite
like
me in a minute.
Well, I'm not saying all cats are vicious, but they can be when they
the,
want to be.
I
does
don't
she do
like.
the? Does she also do the like? Because Slinky does this too. Does she also like grab you sometimes to try to
Yeah.
bite? Yeah, that's what
See,
Slinky
dogs will
does.
never do that stuff to you, and that's why I'm a dog person.
Well,
I
Up goes
don't.
well,
back.
well, dogs. There are some dogs out there that can get mean too. So I
They
mean,
can, but they're mean all the time. You expect it. Cats, you don't know. They're like Sybil. They could be sweet and loving 1 second and then just turn like that and attack and like dig
Yeah.
their claws into you for no reason. You're like, what are you doing?
yeah,
Is
that
she
reminds.
trying to go for your headphone, Kate? It
Yeah,
looks like
she's
she is.
really, really annoyed about my headphones, and that's why she's biting me.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
Oh, and
other cat,
Tom, you just reminded me. We should cover Cujo soon.
Cujo was a good one.
Yeah.
my other cat, the one you guys never see. What I never told you this. My mom, because again, she's usually with my mom most of the time. A lot of times that she likes uh, Kitty, that her name is the other cat.
Yep.
She always likes to bite my mom's wedding ring a lot. Just kind of chews at the diamond.
So weird.
Well,
Kitty,
she does it gently, but still, yeah. We got some cats do the strangest of things.
Yeah, they
Kitty,
do.
your cat's name is Kitty.
Yeah,
Nicky is my papa.
yeah, yeah.
It's
My mom named her that name, but yeah, I've yet to ever say, Mom, Kitty's being a dildo.
then I know a certain Kitty Witty who's sleeping with mommy tonight.
God damn it!
Oh my
Maybe
god.
maybe she's named after Hello Kitty.
I
Oh,
don't know. She
could
was
be.
a stray
Could
cat.
be.
She was a stray.
Yeah. Funny. Oh, I see. Yeah, Chris. That.
Hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, Cloverfield. I have fond memories of seeing this in theaters, and I'm thankful that I do not get motion sickness from found footage movies because lots of people apparently got sick from watching Cloverfield because of the shaky cam, and I just feel bad for anybody who worked in movie theaters at the time who had to clean up the puke.
Oh, jeez.
There's
Ew.
been many movies that came out
Well,
over the decades where that has happened.
yeah, well, okay, yes, I know it's disgusting, but that does happen. You know, and that happened a lot
Yeah.
with Blair Witch Project as well.
Well,
Yeah.
but even
Yeah.
with like older movies, that when we look at them now, we're like, why were people even grossed out about this? But like back then, they did like they would run out of theaters and stuff for like the Blob or something
Oh,
like that. You
Yep.
know what I mean? If I'm gonna watch the Blob because I live in Pennsylvania, I'm going to the theater that is in the Blob,
I love the remake.
the '80s one
Hmm.
with Matt Dillon was in it. I
Yep.
think.
Yep.
Matt
Yeah,
Dillon, Shawnee Smith, who would go on to play Amanda in Saw.
yeah.
Yeah. So, oh, and
But the
there they
original
are.
the original movie, the theater that they used for, I think it's the same theater they used in the remake. Actually,
Yeah. What I like about
it's
what I
here
like,
in Pennsylvania.
yeah, what I like about this is that you can change the cover like this, or you could like switch it, and it's like the new cover right here that they designed.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but I prefer the classic. That's just me.
But like the original movie, like people were running out of the theaters from that. It's like why that was there was nothing. That was
Yeah.
I still have a copy of that movie somewhere over here, like an old VHS copy of the original
Yeah,
one.
like I showed my little cousins years ago back in 2008 because it was like the anniversary of the both versions of the Blob. You know, it was like, but
Nice.
coming up on another one.
I showed them the 1958 version and they laughed.
Yeah, I
It's
think
like,
they just recently did a big
yeah,
anniversary.
but this terrified them.
Eh,
I'm surprised that you were able to show that because considering that's not really unlike the original, not really family friendly.
No,
Can
it's
you
not.
imagine if you showed them a movie that came out not long after the remake of the Blob, Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
Oh, that would,
That would
yeah.
that's the next movie. Well, they're probably not as young anymore, so it won't work.
Yeah.
But,
No, they're not.
yeah.
They are not. So, one of them just got married.
Oh well, then they're definitely not going to be scared of Killer.
No, they're not going to. Well, she is not a big horror fan. She gets grossed out by horror. So yeah, she couldn't watch the original Dawn of the Dead without covering her eyes. You know?
That's classic, though.
Well, like the zombie carnage in the end.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, mild compared to what was on The Walking Dead, which was on a network. So I mean,
Yeah. Well, I know, just Gabby just wasn't really that much a horror, a fan, yeah. Yeah,
I
but
can't imagine not being.
yeah, she's yeah. I think she's actually on her honeymoon right now, and so yeah, I just saw her like the other day at my grandpa's 90th.
Be
Oh,
thankful
yeah.
that you still have your grandpa. Let me tell you,
I know.
you
I
miss
mean,
them when they're gone. You really
I know.
do.
I mean,
You
hey,
do.
I mean, guys, I'm 30. I'm 33 years old, and I just feel thankful that even at my age, I still have my grandparents in my life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a good
Mine.
thing.
Well, just my mom's parents, my dad's parents, they're both dead.
Yeah,
You know,
my
my
dad's parents. His dad died when my dad was 11, so I never met him. But his
Yeah.
mom was around until I was like early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
But I never really got as close to her as I did my mom's parents. I
Mm.
spent every weekend during the school year. I was at their house all summer long. I was at their house because I hated it here. I hated the people around here, the kids and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
They were not fun.
Oh man.
So I liked being there in the suburbs, and they had a pool, and there was a playground right across the street. I was set.
Aw.
Woods to go in and explore.
Yes, Chris. True words to live by, Chris.
Mhm.
Yeah. And now I'm sitting in my grandpa Dun's chair. Yeah.
My mom lives in her parents' house now, so it's still weird when I go there because there's
Yeah.
some part in the back of my head that expects to see my grandma walk out or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah.
In a way, like, yeah, you still have those memories.
Yeah. But I just know that my grandpa Don is still up there watching me continuing on with the show, continue doing what I love, and he's just saying, all right, that's it. All right, Donnie boy, atta boy, keep at it.
That's right. And make sure when you go play Minecraft with him, you kill him. That guy next to you up here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always
I
loved
just
going
don't
on Minecraft.
Yeah, I just don't use this chair like when I play video games because my grandpa Don, like, he loves art, but he didn't really appreciate video games as like an art form.
No.
So I mean, even though video games are widely considered an art form now because of all the creative work that goes into it, yeah. But yeah, I mean, to the end of his day, he never really adapted to technology at all. To the end of his days, he was still using a rotary. He never had one of these, ever.
Well, my dad still doesn't. My dad's only 74 now. I say only 74. Like, that's young.
Only 74.
But he just flat out refuses. He's not. I got him to use a tablet for about 3 or 4 months. And then it stopped, and he hasn't gone back to it, and that's been like almost 10 years.
Did it run out of battery?
No, he just didn't care.
What?
He went in the hospital for his stem cell transplant, and he didn't want to take it with him there, which I thought he would want to. But then after he got back out, he never picked it up again. So, yeah.
Kate, is Machi still in your lap?
No, she left. No,
that's
she was just faffing about too much. I was like, okay, get off.
It's raining out there. Oh,
Before she breaks me.
Yeah,
you're getting the
it's
storm
raining
now.
over here too.
Yeah, I'm looking down. I'm looking down at the street lamps, and rain is starting to hit hard out there.
There's
Yeah,
gonna
it's
be a few.
been raining. Yeah, it's been raining over here too. Good thing I mowed the grass yesterday and the day before.
Yeah,
We get ours this weekend, and it's going to be hard. It's going to be like downpour this weekend.
Who said hard?
And I just washed my balcony.
What? And now it's going to get washed again.
Yeah,
It's
and
washed.
get all dirty. Rainwater is not clean. It carries stuff, like, especially when it drips down off of buildings.
Well, yeah,
Not all the
it
time.
gets all that stuff from inside the siding and the wood and all
exactly.
that. Yeah.
Wood.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah. So Cloverfield. If you haven't seen it, please do. I consider this to be one of the better found footage horror films. It's the one that I enjoy going back to every once in a while. I mean, but
Joe's having that too.
still,
It's raining over there too, and thunder and lightning.
still doesn't beat this in my book.
Yeah, that's still the best one.
Yes. To this day, I don't know if there's any found footage horror film that could possibly beat Wreck. Yeah.
Random question, and I don't know if I've asked you before.
Right.
What's the pop figure that's behind you?
Pop figure.
Behind you on the shelf. Isn't that a pop figure in the box?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Godzilla 1984.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have
Me and Nick both have one.
somewhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
I keep mine in my room though.
Yeah. I keep mine inside the box. I'd never open it.
No, same with me.
Is there a Pickle Rick one?
Let's see. They have one of the original 1954 Godzilla. There's Godzilla 1999. And there's also
Nice.
Shin Godzilla.
Guys, I'm having an issue right now. I'm gonna have to log out for a quick sec, but I'll be right back. I don't know what the hell's going. Everything just got like blanked up for some reason.
I don't know where mine is. It's over here somewhere, but it's Werewolf Bart Simpson.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I won it in a little online contest.
Nice.
That an old network I used to be part of.
Nice.
Okay, I guess I didn't have to do that, so never mind.
Yeah. So that'll be it for this edition of the FearFans podcast. Yeah, Cloverfield is exhilarating. Like, it's immersive. It's so well done. Yeah, Matt Reeves. Yeah, I mean, he went on after this to make Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, then like War for the Planet of the Apes, and also the Batman. Yeah,
Wow.
and I can't wait to see the sequel to that. Yeah, they're still working on another and on the continuation of Robert Pattinson as Batman. Yeah, yeah. I heard they might actually bring back Mr. Freeze in that. If so, I'm wondering how they're gonna do it. If they're gonna do him. I wonder if they're gonna do him.
He can
justice.
do it.
Yeah,
Please.
pretty sure they're gonna avoid going in that direction, Nick.
They have to. Come on.
Oh, he's a little old now to be playing like that.
He's never too old. He did show how to be a good neighbor.
Here, I wanted to show you guys something. Hang on. Here. This was at Oscars 2024. Here. Friggin' ads.
I love those ads.
Hey, listen, I love the ads on YouTube. I really do.
You know what? You gotta make an ad of your own, Tom, for youtube.com/this is Tom's World.
Okay, here it is, guys. I didn't think I would end the video like this, but since you're bringing up Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr.
Wait,
Freeze,
who said Arnold?
yeah,
Come on.
Donald Trump is back. Oh Jesus!
Yep, Donald J. Trump. I'm going to protect the city of Gotham. Need to put up a wall to keep all of the criminals out.
I am the hero this city needs.
I'm the hero that this country. I'm the hero this country needs. I'm going to make America great again.
Built the wall.
Here it is. Hang on.
Oh, twins.
Oh, twins.
They're making another one.
Reason. We both tried to kill Batman.
Yeah. Well, we both tried. I as the Penguin in Batman Returns.
And that was Mr. Freeze and Batman and Robin.
How did Batman beat you?
Oh, he used my one weakness against me.
Heat.
Love.
Oh. He threw me out a window. Yeah, really. Yeah, he's really.
Batman, that son of a bitch.
Where is he?
Yeah.
He's here.
I hate him.
There he is.
I hate
He's right here. He's right here. Look.
You have a lot of nerve to show your face
Oh,
around
yeah,
here.
you got,
Son of a
you
bitch.
are a real beak breaker. I'm going to see you after the governor's ball,
You better believe it.
pal.
The governor's ball. Wasn't that Christopher Walken?
Yeah.
No, there was a ball that was featured in Batman Returns, so I'm pretty sure that's what he was referencing.
Was he like acting, or was he generally annoyed?
It was,
No, didn't you see he was going like this?
Yeah, I know, but I'm like, Is he okay?
He was being Bruce Wayne.
He was trying to put on that
Okay.
menacing Bruce Wayne Batman look in the end.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was what he
So
was doing.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, whenever like these celebrities that Michael Keaton has worked with, when they references work, he's always a good sport.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. And funny thing, Arnold Schwarzenegger was considered to be Batman in those movies.
That's
Wow.
right. I'm the Batman. Wait, to say it the way he says it, Batman.
Yeah.
Like he says it like it's some Jewish last name, Batman.
That kind of does.
Right. All right. So that'll be it for this edition of the FearFans podcast. Please join us next week when we cover Jaws 3, or originally called Jaws 3D, because 3D just decided to become a big thing back in 1983.
And also, just so you guys know too, because I haven't even made this fully announced, but tomorrow I'm going to be a guest on a new show tomorrow afternoon. I think it's going to be called Haunting Travels, I believe.
It's going to be called The Guy Who's a Jerk Off in Minecraft.
I mean, hey, there's a difference between that.
Yeah, they're not.
So, yeah, there is. We can talk about that later.
Yeah.
Yes, we will.
Yeah, but yeah, there's I'll be on Haunting Travels tomorrow. I can't remember what time it was going to be, but it's going to be sometime tomorrow afternoon. So I'm going to be looking forward to being on that. And that's pretty much it. Wait, did you have? Wait,
that was very vague, Nick.
Boy, what?
That was very vague.
Yeah, I know. I don't really know very many details about it.
And he said he's going to be looking forward to it. He's not looking forward to it now, but he's going to be looking forward to it.
It's been a long day for me today. Hey,
anyway.
Nick from Minecraft Prison.
Anyway.
Oh, 3D glasses. No, I actually never saw Jaws 3D in 3D. No.
I did.
Yeah. I didn't see it for the same reason. I mean, I'm not a big fan of 3D, especially when they try to force it on you with the Star Wars a sequel trilogy. They released all of them in 3D, and I'm like, if I'm going to experience a whole new Star Wars chapters of the Star Wars saga, then I prefer to do so with my own eyes.
But when they did it in the old movies, it was forced too, because they would do things like, "Hey, look at this right here. You see this?"
Yeah.
I
have to say though, I remember the Star Wars, the recent one with the 3D. The only really cool thing was that they had the Stormtrooper 3D glasses. So when you went into the movie theater, everyone put their Stormtrooper glasses on, and it was so cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
I still have pairs of 3D glasses from back in the 80s in a drawer downstairs, like different TV shows that would come on, and you get them from the newspaper or something, or if I went to a movie or whatever. I still have.
Yeah, it never takes off, does it? There's always a phase of it, and then it goes away.
It always just comes and goes.
Yeah.
Never becomes a permanent thing. And it never becomes a permanent thing as much as they try to make it be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Till they get holograms going, then it'll come back.
The holograms, yeah.
Of course. Yeah. Movies where it's done in hologram. Yeah. I'm waiting for that to. Yeah, that's going to be great. So, hope you guys enjoyed. And we'll see you guys next week. And Jaws 3D. And then we're covering Jaws the Revenge.
Brad's favorite.
Not looking forward to that.
I'm going to let him know.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them.
Of course you will. Yeah.
I know he's going to love it.
I was telling Nick this. If you want to. It's free. It's you can watch both those movies for free on YouTube. Jaws 3 and Jaws the Revenge. If you want to watch Jaws the Revenge, feel free to do so. I really don't want to watch it again. I refuse.
Hey Tom, before we go, you should do your thing.
I was waiting.
Okay. All right. So thank you guys so much for it, and thank you guys so much, and see you guys next week. Have a good night, everybody.